After the Sector 2 industrial site was constructed, it did not take business owners long to petition for a reconstruction of certain areas. Owners felt that the mayor of Bunyan's Rest favored mineral companies and did not provide other industries a fair chance at purchasing the land and developing their factories. To show that no harm was meant, the mayor pleaded to some of the mineral factories to reduce their dig sites, paying a few of them out to do so. This provided space for factories to grow and a more variety of goods to be produced. Heyo and welcome to another episode of Pine Harbor County, where we will use and abuse the new operating district mechanic that was introduced in Cities Skylines 2. In the last episode, we created 2 large industrial sectors in Bunyan's Rest and added our last 2 signature factories to Pine Harbor County. If you happen to miss that episode, please check out the info card above or feel free to browse down to the playlist in the description. Before we get into discussing what we will be building today, we are coming up on episode 30, which means another viewer-suggested video is in the works. If you have a build idea, please comment below. If there is an idea you like, give that comment a thumbs up. My plan is to gather the top liked comments between May 16th and May 20th, and then post a poll to the community to narrow it down to the top 2 builds. Right now, the plan is to air episode 30 on May 30th, so keep an eye out on both the comments section of this video as well as the community tab. Now, since constructing our new industrial sectors, unemployment has dropped down to about 4%. Now, in today's episode, I do wish to reconstruct one of the areas in Sector 2, and since unemployment is so low, I want to take it as an opportunity to increase the population of our capital city and provide the area of Bunyan's Rest with a new subway station. So, without further delay, let's jump right on into it. One of the first pieces of Sector 2 that I want to reconstruct actually has to do with this mining spot right here. If we come into our production tab, we're doing pretty good on our rock extraction, but we still have a huge deficit in some of our material goods. So I'm going to try and balance it a little bit by pulling back the mine here and providing generic factories more of a chance to produce their goods. So let's jump on in and let's pull this. Alright, so hopefully that helps to balance out that production just a little bit more. Alright, the second spot I want to work on is actually right here and here. I realized all of this open space right here kind of leaves us open to add some dimension. And while I don't want to just zone a whole nother row of industrial or office buildings, what I do want to do is just take the alleyways in. I'm going to turn off snap to side of building here. And then what I'd like to do is put one big one there. One here, here, and here. And then we'll make these guys a little chunkier as well. And I think that will add a bit of dimension to this area and kind of change up the monotony that we had going on a little bit. I liked it, but I didn't like it enough. We also had a phenomenal comment about adding a fire station in this area, and I think it's a really good one. Not only is it going to really help with our fire coverage, which I know is green right now, but it's all the way down here. So I think we will add in a fire station, or a firehouse at least, because the fire station's a teensy bit too big. And yeah, we will chunk up the area with this. All right, set that operating district to Bunyan's Rest. And I think it looks pretty darn nice. All right, so our next item of business is constructing a little citizens transport area right here and connecting the subway in. This way, we can take one of our subway lines from the Technical University all the way up through the industrial sector and connect it here. Now, to do this, we are probably going to be sinking the road because you cannot actually run a subway track over the road. So we're going to try sinking this area of Primrose Street and hopefully not flood it. So yeah, let's jump into doing a little bit of terraforming and placing those reconstructed roads in. I do not think I could get that to work so perfectly again. I mean, we have a couple of kind of glitchy places. Okay, so some of the nodes glitch right here. But I think I'm going to choose to ignore that for now. Mainly because this came out much better than I was kind of expecting it to. And I don't want to risk ruining it. Now that we have part of the road reconstructed, I also want to come in and add a custom park flow interchange. And we are going to do some pretty crazy things on this one. So what I'm going to start with is forming a node. Well, we can actually extend this up a little bit. Let's turn on our contour lines so we can see just about how far we can go here. Wow, that is one abuse of the new road tools. Well, that came out very unexpectedly good, especially for winging that. I'm very proud of that. So you can come in, I think the only thing I forgot to do was to go out. Okay, I think I like how that turned out for the most part. Not bad for an impromptu park flow. All right, now I do want to add a subway station into this area, and I just want to make it a clean shot right here from the subway tracks, right up to the station, which I'll probably actually nestle up in this area over here to keep most of the noise in this section. So what I'm going to do is start with coming in, getting a subway train track as close-ish as possible, just for a general idea. And then let's get the overground. Okay, kinda weird layout, but I kinda like it. All right, now what I would like to do is actually come on in and take this subway line number 2 and cross it up into this area here. So to kind of make this easier on our eyes, I'm quickly just going to come into the subways. I'm going to grab subway number 2 here, and let's just make that bad boy blue. That way we can easily see the marker. We can grab said marker, hopefully, and route it right on up to this overground subway, and then come on back and add some waypoints in. And then let's just change that color back to good old green. And while we're in here, so we have 6 stops now and 3 trains total. Is that going to be enough? And how many trains do we have total? 10. Out of 10, we're good to go. We have 4. Okay, yeah, I think that will work out pretty well. Okay, now something I would like to do in this area is add in a little bit of commercial and the tiniest of bits of office. And look, our train's going out. Look at it. Oh, that's going to be so cool. I can never get over how many passengers these subway trains can hold. So let's give people a reason to come to this area with some commercial and some office. And before we even do that, I think coming in with a little bit of parking is not a bad idea. Okay, I was really tempted to put those underground parking lots in. I'm still really tempted to put them in, but we're going to resist for now. So let's come on in and let's fill in some zoning. And I want to look at our signature buildings really quickly because there's a couple we still need to unlock. And I think this is going to kind of help us determine whether we're going to go a mix of European and North American, or just North American in this area. That just kind of sits really well there, which is a little bit obnoxious because I want to keep these a little closer to the center of the city. All right. I think we are just gonna stick with some regular zoning in this area. Maybe a little bit of mixed residential. So let's go on in and let's zone up a little bit here. So that is a whole lot of spammed zoning. I think what we'll do is when we come in for our Beautifying the Build time lapse, we'll probably space some of these out a little bit more and create a couple of custom gardens. Yeah, because the way I'm thinking, we could add a nice little circular garden here, maybe. Yeah, there's definitely some opportunity for that. So we'll do that in the Beautifying the Build time lapse. So stay tuned. All right, so as I may have mentioned, I do want to come in and I want to spice up this area with a little bit of zoning. So what I'd like to start with is coming in with some roads. And I want to pull right off of this spot here and this spot here. And I think because I don't want too many crossings on the train, we are going to pull back to about here. Not too bad. All right, and then next what I'd like to do is just come on in and get some zoning in here. And we'll probably do a little bit of mixed densities up here between row and medium density. And then probably just keep with our row housing on this side. So let's come on in and build that on up. Okay. I don't think it came out too awful. A little bare, so I might fill in a good portion of this area just with some trees, especially up here. We're going to leave this area unzoned for now because I have a couple of plans that I was kind of brainstorming out while everything here was building in. So we're going to leave this for now. And then I think as far as it goes for this area here, I guess we can leave those just as is. I'm just debating if I like how it all plays in. So before we go, I just want to see what would it look like if we put first a couple here and a couple here. But then what if we put some low density down here? I'm sorry, not low density, some low rent. I just want to see if we scatter some of this in just maybe a little bit, whether or not it will look good. We really don't have that much low rent housing, so Normally, I would not place anything on this road because it's an arterial road here. But I will, we'll kind of, I want to see how it plays out. Because it's either that or we lower the density over here, lower it so it's not so much high rise. Okay, let's kind of come in and take another look now. So this is what we all just added. It's not bad from this side. I kind of really like this asset here. All right, let's leave it like this for now. I do like this asset and this asset here. These might be a little too chunky for me. So what we'll actually just do really quick, because those are 3x6s. Cool. We'll get very specific with the zoning and kind of bulk it up just a little bit more, just so it transitions a little better. We could always upgrade these townhomes into medium density based on what our game needs and what the population asks for. But in the meantime, I think we will leave the zoning as is and move on to decorating the place up a little bit. Alrighty, so while this area here is kind of cleaning itself out, let's jump into a Beautifying the Build time lapse. I've been kind of watching this in the background here, and I think all of this is actually just coming in to fill in the residential. I did add some more low rent housing right here, though I might change these up a little bit. So I kind of like them. Anywho, let's jump on in. Let's do a Beautifying the Build time lapse. We may change some of the zoning densities up a little bit just to kind of tweak it to our liking. But I do think it's about time to plant some trees. So yeah, let's jump on in. Alrighty, I think that just about wraps up today's episode. If you enjoyed, please consider hitting the like button below and don't forget to subscribe for future content. Before you go, please also let me know your suggestions for episode 30 in the comments below and keep an eye out on that community tab for the poll. Until next time, I hope everyone has a phenomenal week.